Good morning. It is 8:50, July the 25th, and here's where I need to do a better job. And I'm watching people talk and blog about their careers and the things that they do. And being a PGA golf instructor and a PGA teaching professional, these are some of the things that I obviously need to start dialogue. So today, being July 25th, I'm going to start this as a day that Greg Rexa started talking about his experiences in the golf industry. I can go back in on that later, but we're going to make a short video because right now we are at the U.S. Amateur Championships, USGA, here in Daniel Island, South Carolina, near Charleston. And kind of the meaning or the method behind the madness in this blog, if this is what you want to call it, or me just kind of talking out loud abruptly about this experience, is absolutely amazingly phenomenal. These kids have such amazing talent and such amazing ability. It's really, really incredible. The time and effort that they put into getting to this point all starts from when they're this big and just learning to pick up the golf club for the first time and learning to swing it. And that's what's so amazing about it, is because you have every category of kid at every level when they first start. And sometimes what the parents need to understand is no matter what, their daughter or son is going to be not the best at the beginning, and then they're going to stick with it, and they're going to realize that they either maybe want to do it or they need to be pushed a little bit to do it. And I think sometimes as parents, we don't necessarily want to push them. We want them to say, hey, I want to do it. And you kind of see that thrive and that motivation factor that they get personally in wanting to do something. And I think that's a big part of it, is letting them acquire their own kind of skills and let them develop. A part of this that I can add in there as being a coach is when I was young, my best friend and I, we were kind of each other's wingman, if you will, and we looked after each other and we started to learn each other's swings. And so what we would do, because back in the day we didn't have a lot of money, and it's not like we didn't have coaches, we did, but we weren't spending the money every day to go get a lesson. So we would get a lesson, and then we would share that information with each other, and we'd watch each other, and then we'd practice together, and then we would play together. And those memories, when I think about them and to talk out loud about them, are give me goosebumps every time I think about it and every time we talk about it. In those days, we just were driven. Like we wanted to be at the golf course, and that's where we wanted to be, and that's where we wanted to stay. And it wasn't until the sun came up and we were there all day, and then the sun went down, and then we'd go home. Sometimes we didn't want to go home. And we'd stand there at the golf course and on the driving range and hit balls, and then we'd go to the putting green, and then we'd go play, and then we'd come in and grab a Snickers bar, and then we'd go back to the range, and then we'd go back on the golf course. But we wanted to be there. And I think sometimes don't necessarily push the kids, but let them kind of learn and acquire these skills on their own. And of course, I'll throw myself a bone. Get a good coach, get somebody that you can trust to help you. It doesn't have to be every single solitary day, but somebody that you trust that will communicate with your son or your daughter and help them and share this information. So I'm 52 years old. I started golf. I have pictures of myself when I was little. I didn't really fall in love with the game until I was 12, 13 years old. And then decided I was doing all kinds of sports, decided I kind of didn't want to play the other sports and just gravitated more towards golf because of my love and passion for trying to get better at it. And then, like I'd mentioned, having a coach, and then having my best friend and I just always being together and doing it, and always being at the golf course, working on it. So again, I don't know, I'm just rambling on, obviously, and I might go back and say a couple things that I already said, but for the most part, 5 minutes already into this video, you need love for the game. You need passion for the game. You have to have a demeanor that kind of is calm, but I want to go get it. And playing high school and college golf, I can honestly say back then, it took me a little bit longer to acquire that. And these are the things that I think with the younger generation that they're learning a lot quicker because they're getting help along the way. They're getting people that encourage them and inspire them, and they're their wingman. They are the ones that literally are by their side, kind of just constantly and gradually giving them information. And I think that's a key right there. This whole almost 6-minute video now, the key ingredient is have the passion and gradually filter the information to them and let them take the information and allow them to acquire their own skill set out of it. So, do they need to be perfect the way that somebody tells them to be perfect? Absolutely not. But they need to be perfect for themselves, and they need to work into their own skin and build the confidence levels and just get the right kind of guidance along the way. And I think that's critically important. And sometimes it's like we push too hard, or maybe some of them aren't fortunate enough to get any guidance at all, and it takes them a little bit longer to get to that next level because they don't have some guidance. But you can't over push them though either, because you over push them, you burn them out and you run them into the ground. And then maybe they don't want to do it, or it sets them back a little bit, I should say. Not that they don't want to do it. I think most kids are kind of have a little bit of fire in them, and they want to kind of do it if they want to do it. All right, that's enough for rambling now. 7 minutes in. Greg Rexa here, PGA teaching professional out of Raleigh, North Carolina. Have a great day. I'm going to try to start doing these blogs a little bit more. I just think it's overly important to talk out loud. I started off a little slow and then settled kind of into it a little bit, maybe got off topic, so I'm going to have to make my topics a little bit more crystal clear. Have a good day.